Hello and welcome to the Swan Song Podcast. This episode is going out on National Grief Awareness Week here in the UK, which is a week designed to increase awareness of grief and grief services and support to try and encourage people who might need it to become aware of the services and what support's available. So we want to do a special episode of the podcast to talk about grief a bit more. So this episode features a woman called Trudi, who has written a song with the Swan Song Project recently. It's a song written in memory of her son, Benjamin, who died by suicide in 2020. The song's called "Start Talking," and it's a great song. So it was really nice to have a bit of time with Trudi to talk about. She talks a little bit about obviously what it was like losing a son and how she's been processing the grief. We also and about to talk about the songwriting process, how she found that. You'll hear the song in the episode as well. And we also talk a bit about a few other services that she, has either found useful herself or hears good things about that other people might benefit from if they are struggling with their own bereavement. So yeah, it's a very, very interesting chat. I hope you enjoy it. It is, obviously, a trigger warning for we do talk about suicide quite a lot in this episode. So if that's a bit much for you, that's understandable. But we do, talk about a lot of services that are there to support, and I will put the links in the description as well. So if you do find yourself troubled by any of the topics in this, hopefully there's links to some support in there. And also, if you are struggling with a bereavement yourself and you would like to write a song with the Swan Song Project, we are here to help. We can work with anyone in England or Wales, either in person across Yorkshire or over Zoom if you're further afield. So yeah, you can get in touch via our website if you'd like to find out more about that. But yeah, without further ado, here is the Grief Awareness Week special of the Swan Song Podcast with Trudi Galloway. Hope you enjoy it. Okay, today I'm here with Trudi Galloway. Thanks for joining me, Trudi.
Hi, are you all right?
Yeah, good, good. Looking forward to talking to you. So Trudi has written a song with the Swan Song Project very recently. It was only the last couple of weeks that you finished your song, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was I think we only had 4 sessions. So I think it was about 3 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago it was finished, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Brilliant. So yes, this is a special Grief Awareness Week edition of the Swan Song Podcast, where we're going to talk about Trudy's song. So do you want to tell us a little bit about your song, Trudy, before we listen to it?
Yeah, so the song is called Start Talking, and I dedicate it to my son Benjamin, who I lost to suicide during the lockdown in 2020. The purpose of the song is to encourage people to talk and to not feel ashamed of talking about how they're feeling and to start conversations. Suicide, as most people know, is the biggest killer of the under 35s in the UK, and men are more likely to take their lives than women. And men are, for whatever reason, are reluctant to reach out and talk. So the lyrics of the song, I mean, all credit to Jamie for everything. Um, does that, it sends a powerful message to encourage people to talk about how they're feeling and the mental health and whatever struggles they may be experiencing.
Yeah, brilliant. Thanks, Trudy. Yeah, so powerful message. And it's very sad how how common suicide is with young men in particular.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so yeah, the song's called "Start Talking," and musically, it's very is it Linkin Park inspired. You say
Yeah,
it's
and a couple of my friends have said it reminds them of Metallica and
yeah.
Linkin Park. Benjamin was into all shouty, that's what I used to call it, shouty music. um, but yeah, he chose Metallica's Nothing Else Matters for his funeral, so that was played. Um, he loved that genre of music, and I think he'd have absolutely loved it. Jamie, as you know, and the lyrics and everything. Jamie listened to what I wanted, the message I wanted to put across, and he's just done it. And I'm blown away by it. It's absolutely superb. I love it.
It is a great track. I love it when like, I think a lot of people expect with Swan Song that the songs are always going to be quite gentle and calm, and so
Yeah,
I love when we get ones like this. And this is part of the what's very important to us about it is that the songs are representative of the people they're about. And I think I think Linkin Park do have a lot of there's a lot of mental health themes in their songs, and obviously their lead singer died by suicide as well, didn't he? Chester
yeah,
Bennington.
Chester. Yeah, that was.
Um,
Yeah, I mean, I remember hearing the news on Chester's death, and then I would have never imagined a few years later it would be my son.
yeah,
It's suicide. It's the devastation, the not knowing why. It just leaves so many unanswered questions. But I didn't go back to the song. I didn't specifically want it to be about that and all sadness. I wanted it to be a little bit uplifting and to bring a message of hope, really. And I think it's done its job.
yeah, I agree. So yeah, for the people listening, we'll have a listen to it now. This is "Start Talking" by Trudi and Jamie.
This one's for anyone who just might need to hear, for those fighting inner battles on their own, and for me to offload my chest of all the heavy words I could have said if only I'd known. 'Cause right now there's many others lost within the dark, with tight lips falsified into a smile. But there's an enemy in the silence and an ally in your words. If you can let the brave face mask fall for a while, you can turn it around. It's never too late and the help is there to find a way. So try to make today the day you start talking, start talking. Please stay, there's always another way. Please stay and fight to find a better day. It's hard to know there's light when you can't see it. The joy of life is there, we can free it. So let others understand the shoes you're walking, and start talking. Oh, start talking. The world is a better place with you still here. The future is there for you to claim. You're worthy, you matter still, and you've always been enough. Struggling is not a cause for shame. I know all too well that reaching out is hard. The stigma brings a feeling of defeat, but it's just a lie you tell yourself. It simply isn't so. It's the first step to returning to your feet. You can turn it around. It's never too late and the help is there to find a way. So try to make today the day you start talking. Please stay, there's always another way. Please stay and fight to find a better day. It's hard to know there's light when you can't see it, but the joy of life is there, we can free it. So let others of a part we have to play. Check in with your mates, ask twice if they're okay. It just might save a life someday.
Okay, brilliant. So yeah, that was Start Talking. Yeah, I think it does tick all the boxes that you were aiming for, Trudy.
It's
Yeah,
brilliant.
it's got a great.
I mean, I know I'm biased, but like I said to you earlier, I'm plugging it everywhere.
Yeah. Oh no, I really appreciate that. Um, yeah, I love there's a lot of great lyrics in it, but I wrote down a couple of my favorite ones from it. It's hard to know the light when you can't see it, but the joy of life is there and we can free it. So let others understand the shoes you walk in and start talking. It's,
Brilliant.
yeah, fantastic lyrics.
Jamie is just, I can't praise him enough. I really can't. Just brilliant.
Yeah. And so one thing that's just that really makes me happy with this as well is understand the shoes you walk in and start talking. So in songwriting, that's mosaic rhyme, where it's two words that rhyme with one word, so walk in and
Yeah.
talking. Which is just as a songwriting nerd, that made me very happy when I heard that. So when you were doing the lyrics, did you tell Jamie all the things that you wanted it to be, and then did he put the lyrics together, or did you just put the lyrics together?
I came up with a few phrases, and like talking save lives and check in with your mates. And the please stay was I won't go into too much detail, but I visited the place where it happened, and I laid flowers and I put a sign with helpline numbers, and I just put please stay, and I put that in bold letters, and I said to Jamie, that's what I'd like that, and obviously the start talking, because that's what everybody says, to start that conversation. Don't be afraid to mention suicide. Ask somebody if they're okay. Ask them twice, because you're more likely to get a proper. We all do it, don't we? How are you? You're all right? Yes, thanks to you.
Yeah.
But then if you go deeper and say, "Are you really okay?" it can start the ball rolling, if you like. Yeah. So it's just brilliant.
With this being a Grief Awareness Week episode, is there anything in terms of, I guess, what's it been like for you in terms of managing the grief? Any kind of particular support that you've had? And one of the questions I always like to ask is if anybody listening to this might know somebody who's been bereaved by suicide and be worrying about how to speak to them, do you have any advice for how people can show support?
Yeah, I was put in touch with the Tomorrow Project, which is local in my area in East Midlands, and they are specifically trained for suicide bereavement. So they helped me, and they were my lifeline. There are others. I think there's a national charity called SOBS, which is survivors of those bereaved by suicide, I think it stands for, and they're like a national one. So I would signpost to them, because they do monthly meetings, and they do other things as well. They go out for walks, they go out and have meals and stuff together. So I would definitely encourage people to go to a bereavement group that is specifically for those bereaved by suicide. Yeah.
Yeah, the kind of peer support I imagine was very helpful.
Yeah.
And yeah, I guess if other people, speaking to other people who've lost someone, and I guess it probably translates to all bereavement. There's obviously crossover, but one of the things that, like, how much do you want to talk about him? I guess if people were speaking, asking about it, because I know a lot of people are very nervous when speaking to somebody who's been bereaved about mentioning the person they've lost, and and then I've heard other people say that they and something we get with Swan Song a lot is people love the opportunity to talk about the person they've lost. But what's that like for you?
Yeah, I mean, I do talk about him. Because if I don't, I might, obviously, when you've lost a child or lost anybody for whatever reason, your worst fear is that they're going to be forgotten. So I talk about Benjamin at any given opportunity. I've done things in his memory. I've done. I don't know if you've heard of the Baton of Hope.
Oh no, I haven't.
It was the largest suicide awareness campaign. It was a huge baton, which was, I think, I can't remember who it was created by, but it was carried from all around the UK. So I did that. I was involved in the Calm campaign. The last photo, it was 50 huge photographs displayed at the South Bank in London, and the message was suicide doesn't always look suicidal. So that was great. That had really good press. And I just try and just raise awareness. That's all you can do, and just encourage people to talk.
Yeah, that's great, Trudy, and yeah, I hope the song helps with some of that as well. It's one of the things that I feel is it's such a challenge, isn't it? And that so with suicide particularly, but also with death and bereavement more widely, is I think a lot of people just don't want to kind of pretend it's not there
Yeah,
until it hits them, and then it's really hard to deal with. And it's one of the things that like I think one of the I think songs are so good for it is like people can listen to the song because they like the music, and then it's like it's almost like softens the blow of a difficult message in a way, or it can make you think about things in a different way rather than sitting down just for a hard conversation.
yeah. I mean, Jamie gave me the option. Bless him. He asked whether I wanted to do the song specifically about Benjamin,
Mm.
and as much as I'd have liked to have done that as well, I would find that too painful. It
Yeah,
would upset me too much. And with the other members of my family as well. And and Benjamin was all about other people. And I thought, well, he this is what he would have done if he was here. He'd want to send a message out to other people. But yeah,
yeah,
sad. It's very sad.
yeah. Um, how have you found? What was it like when the song was finished? Like, what was it like when you heard it for the first time?
I was blown away. I mean, all I'd seen and heard is Jamie on the guitar, and that even that in itself was beautiful. So when he actually sent me he'd added all the music to it. So I was like, wow. And because obviously Benjamin liked Linkin Park and that kind of music and Metallica, it was just that in a song. Yeah, absolutely outstanding. You guys are amazing. You really are.
Oh, thank you. It's one of the things that I say, like, so now, now we work with, so you worked with Jamie over Zoom, didn't you? And
Yeah,
so in the early days of the project, it was all we, sat in the same room together writing songs, and that was always one of my favorite moments. Is when the first time you did the song in full together and seeing someone's reaction. So it's one of
yeah,
the things that, like, obviously, it's great that we can work with people over Zoom, but yeah, it's just something really special of being there to hear, witness someone's reaction to us. Because there is just something magic when even if you've seen all the parts going together, to hear it as one for the first time is
yeah.
a quite a special thing.
No.
Um, is there anything you would say to so you mentioned someone's listening to this who might be bereaved by suicide or bereaved in a different way or terminally ill or something and might be thinking about writing a song themselves and unsure about it. Is there anything you would say to them, any advice you'd give, anything?
I would say do it. Absolutely do it. I've got a song now that will forever. Yeah, sorry. Be,
Okay,
Ben. Sorry.
that's okay. Truly, take as long as you need.
He'll live on. That's it. It will last forever, and I can't put into words what that means. It's just beautiful. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Trudi. Yeah, you're very welcome. And yeah, well done. It is a great song. I've really enjoyed listening. When Jamie first sent it over to me, I really enjoyed putting it on and having a good. When it kicks in, it's just like yes. Yeah, it's great. um, yeah, we had a quick chat beforehand. I just wanted to. I don't know whether there's any other services that you would recommend. So, well, we talked about a couple of them earlier, but before we started recording, we talked about the three dads walking, um, who have been mentioned on the Swan Song podcast before. The episode of Sean Cooney. He's written a song about three dads walking, and so they're three dads who'd all lost daughters to suicide. That's right, isn't it? And
Yeah.
they started walking together, and they've raised fortunes for Papyrus. I think they raise it for, isn't it?
That's right. Yes, they do. I mean, they're brilliant. They've written a book as well, and I've had a couple of books relating to suicide, bereavement, but they've been a bit too, oh dear, no, thank you. I don't want to read that. But I knew that buying theirs, it would have humour in it, because they're the way they are with each other, that it's brilliant. They've got such a great connection with each other, and I knew it, despite the pain and the darkness, there would be some humour in it. And brilliant book. Totally recommend it.
Is the book about dealing with bereavement?
Yeah, and it's also, I think it was based on their first walk that they did in memory of their girls. But yeah, it does make you tear up a little bit, but my God, it does make you laugh as well. Their sense of humour is brilliant.
Oh, that's really good. And Papyrus is a suicide prevention charity, is that right?
Yes, that's right, for the under 35s, I believe. But there's so many. There's Calm. That's a campaign against living miserably. That one. There's Andy's Man Club that you know about. There's one in Leicestershire called the Brotherhood Legion. There doesn't seem to be that many. Well, not that I've know of, men's, that are specifically catered for men. Which I think we need more of.
Yeah.
But,
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brilliant. Yeah, well, thanks a lot for your time, Trudi. It's really nice talking to you.
Well, thank you. Thank you, all of you at the Swan Song Project. And I can't believe that hardly anybody knows about you. You need to get out there, Ben. Get out there.
Yeah, we're doing our best. But yeah, no, thank you, Trudi. I really appreciate it. Yeah, well done on a great song.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, and thanks for tuning in, everyone. I'll be back on another episode soon.